Hello and welcome to Easy Stories in English, the show that will take your English from okay to good and from good to great. I am Ariel Goodbody, your host for this show. Today, I am going to tell you a story. The story is called, the name of the story is The Elephant and the Hare. If this story is too easy for you, if you understand everything, go to easystoriesinenglish.com/elephant and you can read a slightly harder version of the story. Okay? So, once upon a time, there was an elephant. Elephants have big ears. And of course, elephants have very, very long noses. And this elephant had a big smile. Okay, and eyes, of course. And elephants are very big. They have 4 legs. Perfect. So, this elephant was going to visit to see his mother. So in this house was the elephant's mother. Okay? So the elephant brought a present. A present is usually in a box. Yeah, you give presents at Christmas or for birthdays. Okay? So the elephant brought a present for his mother. He brought 2 bags of honey. So on his back, he had 2 bags, like for shopping, and in the bags were honey. So honey, I love honey. Honey is food, and bees make honey. Bzzz. See? Bees make honey and humans eat honey. Lovely. So the elephant had 2 bags of honey. So the elephant was walking to his mother's and he saw a river. So a river is water, okay? And rivers move, so moving water. And next to the river was a hare. So a hare is an animal. Hares, they're like rabbits, but hares have big ears and big feet. Oh, I can't show my feet, sorry. Okay, so a hare. And the hare wanted to go across the river. So the hare said, "Mr. Elephant, please can I go on your back and cross the river?" So the elephant said, "Of course." Yes, the elephant was very nice. He was a good elephant. So the hare sat on the elephant's back. And they walked across the river. And the hare smelled the bags of honey. So the hare quietly went down and ate the honey. And the honey was so good that the hare ate one whole bag of honey. And then the hare said, "Oh, Mr. Elephant, can you give me a stone? Because on the road there were stones, okay, like to throw. Can you give me a stone because I want to throw a stone at the birds?" The birds. I want to throw a stone at the birds. So the elephant picked up a stone with his nose and gave it to the hare. And the hare put the stone in the bag. And then the hare asked, "Mr. Elephant, can I have another stone?" And another and another. So the rabbit put all the stones in the bag. The rabbit filled up the bag with stones. And then the hare ate the second bag of honey. And then the hare asked for stones. And the hare filled up the second bag with stones. So the elephant did not have two lovely bags of honey for his mother. He had two bags of stones. Nobody wants stones. Then the hare said bye, and the hare jumped off the elephant's back, and the hare ran away. So the elephant arrived. He got to his mother's house, but then he looked in the bags and he saw the stones, and the elephant was angry. "This is not honey, this is stones. I wanted honey. That hare stole my honey." So steal is when you take something that is not yours. You take someone else's thing. So the hare took the elephant's honey. The hare stole the honey from the elephant. So the elephant looked for the hare, and the elephant saw the hare and ran after the hare. Okay? And with his nose, the elephant, so this was the hare's tail, yeah, his tail behind him. The elephant he took the hare's tail with his nose, and the hare ran. So the elephant pulled the hair and the skin on his tail came off. Ooh. So skin, this is skin, this is skin, this is skin. Skin is the outside of your body, okay? So some people have light skin, some people have dark skin. But the elephant pulled on the hare's tail and the skin came off. So the tail was very red because all the skin came off. Lovely. And then the hare ran, and the elephant ran after the hare. The hare saw some farmers. So a farmer has a pitchfork, this is a pitchfork, and a farmer makes food like potatoes, vegetables, fruit, and a farmer has animals like pigs, cows, and so on. So the hare saw the farmers, let's say 2, and the hare said, "Hey, hey you farmers, hey, do you see that elephant?" And the elephant was running. "That elephant is running after you." So the farmers ran away. Okay? The elephant saw the farmers running, and the elephant thought, the farmers are running after the hare. So the elephant ran after the farmers. Finally, the elephant arrived at the farmers, and the elephant said, "Oh, please, kind farmers, have you seen a hare with no skin on its tail?" A hare with the skin off its tail. And the farmers said, "Yes, there." So the elephant ran, and the hare ran, and the hare saw some women cooking. So let's do 2 women. Okay, and the women were cooking. They had a pot, maybe with soup. Cooking. Delicious. So the hare saw the women and said, "Hey, you women, do you see that elephant? That elephant is running after you." So the women ran away, and the elephant saw the women and thought, the women are running after the hare. So the elephant ran to the women and said, "Oh, kind women, have you seen a hare with no skin on his tail?" And the women said, "Yes, there." So the elephant ran. And then the hare saw some antelopes. Antelopes are like deer. They have big, curvy horns, okay? I don't want to draw two antelopes. It is an animal mainly in Africa and Asia. So the hare saw the antelopes and he said, "Hey, you antelopes, do you see that elephant? That elephant is running after you." So the antelopes ran away, and the elephant ran to the antelopes because the elephant thought the antelopes were running after the hare. And the elephant said, "Oh, kind antelopes, have you seen a hare with no skin on his tail?" And the antelope said, "Yes, there." So the hare ran, and finally the hare saw a group of hares. Okay. Very small hares. And the hare said, "Hey, you hares, do you see that elephant? That elephant is looking for a hare with skin on its tail." Yeah? Not without, but with skin on its tail. So all the hares, they took the skin off their tails. Ooh. Okay, they took the skin off their tails. And then the elephant saw the hares and he ran to the hares and he said, "Oh, kind hares, have you seen a hare with no skin on his tail?" And then he saw all the hares, and all the hares had no skin on their tails. So the elephant did not know which hare was which hare stole his honey. So in the end, the elephant went to his mother's house with 2 big bags of stones. And the hare was very happy. The end. I hope you enjoyed the story. This story comes from the Maasai people. The Maasai people live in Kenya and Tanzania. And Kenya and Tanzania are 2 African countries. Now, in Europe, we think that tricking people is bad. So tricking is when you say, "Hey, I want a stone to throw," but really you want the stone to put in the bag because you ate the honey. So in this story, the hare tricked the elephant. He said one thing and he did another. And he made the elephant think that there was honey in the bags, but there was not honey. It was a trick. So in European stories, people often think that children should not trick people. It is bad. Yeah? Children should be good. Children should be nice. So when I first read the story, I thought the elephant is the main character, the hero, the protagonist, the important person in the story. And so the ending is sad. But no, I read about the story. In Maasai culture, it is very important to be clever. Clever like intelligent, but to be clever and to be able to trick people because they hunt a lot, I guess. So the idea is this story shows children to be clever. So in the Maasai understanding, the hare is the hero, the protagonist of the story. So in the Maasai idea, it is a good ending. I think that's really interesting because, well, who says that European stories are the correct stories? I think sometimes we have to think again about these stories. So I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you want to read a version of this story that is a bit harder, you can go to easystoriesinenglish.com/elephant. And of course, at easystoriesinenglish.com, you can listen to the podcast Easy Stories in English. Thank you for watching and see you soon.